For most, our lives have continued to flow with an air of normalcy. The wind, the water, the traffic, the electricity, everything. But on the other side, the reality for millions has become a reign of utter misery. Gaza, a land of 2 million living souls, turned to a hellish nightmare as most of the world bystands as horrors continue. But somewhere between the warmongering and lifeless, indolent pacifism of the powerful, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jama'at of Canada brought its efforts of universal peace nationwide, holding 4 major of many more events within the last little while, and we look to the nation's capital.
We are here at the Parliament Hill, Ottawa, Canada, the capital of Canada. The Ahmadiyya Muslim Youth Association, Majlis Khuda Ahmadiyya, is holding the Voices for Peace campaign. This campaign is part of a global campaign, which is actually launched by Hazuri Anwar Talab Nasir Aziz. We felt that given the urgent need, and we actually had only 6 days to accomplish this task, from the day that we got the approval to the booking of the room. And the reason we felt that it was important to come to Ottawa is because it's the capital of Canada. And this is where all the MPs, the members of Parliament, gather. So we thought, why don't we go to the Parliament Hill and give that voice, that voice of peace, this whole campaign right here in the heart, where all the laws of the country are made, where all the rules and regulations are, where all the people who make these and enforce these rules actually work and reside.
In Ottawa, the Voices for Peace event began with the recitation of the Holy Quran, followed by an introduction to the event and some words from presenters from within and outside the Jama'at.
So I talked about the importance of giving value to each and every human, whether they are Israeli or Palestinian, Muslim or Jewish. And I referenced the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the General Assembly of the UN back in 1948. So it has been 75 years since the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and yet we have not fully implemented it. We have not fully adopted it, accepted it in the world.
So what's happening in Gaza right now is that there is a serious humanitarian issue. Just yesterday I was watching the news and it said that within 24 hours 700 people were killed. So we came to actually speak to the MPs and politicians and to convey our message and our feelings to them, and to speak about the crisis, the humanitarian crisis happening in Gaza right now.
Events like this are really very important because it's important that we create awareness of what is happening around the world. Since October 7th, we have seen horrifying images. We have seen the deaths of over 15,000 innocent Palestinian civilians, which includes over 6,000 kids. We really need to raise our voices so that they are heard and Canada can stand up and call for a ceasefire.
While event proceedings continued, there are those who were in support and those who opposed. However, the Voices for Peace campaign continues as we move towards the headquarters of the Canadian Jama'at in Maple, Ontario.
Our beloved Imam has instructed us to carry out this global campaign called Voices for Peace, and inshallah we'll do it in every city across the country and take that message that together, what Hazur said, we need to pray together and wish for peace together.
I felt very strongly when I heard what this was about, bringing the Abrahamic faiths together to talk about peace and to talk about getting beyond the challenges that we're facing here as Canadians. That's something that we should all come together of, and I applaud the initiative.
The goal and purpose and objective of this event was to convey the message of Islam, to raise awareness about the suffering of people, and how Hazur said that we should use our influence and convey that the people are suffering and there should be peace in the Holy Land. And for the peace process to start, it should start with absolute justice.
Our next stop is over in the west of Canada, the Batun Nur Mosque in Calgary, where we will have a glance at their Voices for Peace event. The Batun Nur Mosque saw numbers circling around 400 attendees from all sorts of backgrounds. The Holy Quran was recited. Speakers of Hinduism, Judaism, Sikhism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam were present. and speakers spoke towards the campaign of Voices for Peace. The Voices for Peace campaign continues into Francophone Canada in a city a couple of hours away from Ottawa that we call Montreal.
Peace can be, but with a good condition. The condition is to have like justice in this place, justice in Palestine, justice for the children. And today we ask for a ceasefire, with a permanent ceasefire for these children and their families. We need this ceasefire to have life as all the children in the world and the women in the world.
Through the instructions and guidance of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih V, may Allah be his helper, the ultimate motive of the Voices for Peace campaign is to bring an end to the atrocities occurring in Palestine. And our beloved Huzur reminds us that prayer is the strongest weapon. May Allah help the people of Palestine. Ameen. MTA News, Canada.